the Haywood Stadium at Baylor School on the banks of the Tennessee River for the season opener of the 2025 season. Welcome all Baylor fans and fans of the Chiefs as well that are watching in South Florida. Glad you're here. I think you have a great game here tonight. We have a lot to talk about when these two teams get together. It's kind of a one-time deal. Baylor, of course, coming off a great year last year. You know what? You know you have a good program when you say, you know what, I'm disappointed with the runner-up status and losing in the state championship
Absolutely.
game.
It was a season of just fantastic execution and just one disappointing end in a fantastic game. And you know, the hard thing about that is, Jim, you don't start with the state championship game. You got to build that bridge all season long to get there. You have to hope for health, execution, a little bit of luck, and hope you work yourself back into that same opportunity in December.
It'll be an interesting year in the start of high school football. Week number 1 in the state of Tennessee. Georgia, of course, got underway last week. Should be a good game to here tonight. And weather conditions look great right now, although there may be some rain in the forecast. There may be a thunderstorm in the forecast. We'll take a look as the evening goes on and see what occurs. All right, let's get to the beginning. Santaluces is out of South Florida. That'll be game number 1 here tonight. Then at home against Raven Gap next week. On the road at Brentwood Academy. LFL Academy on the 12th. 3 straight on the road after that. At CPA, at MBA, at McCauley. Then a bye weekend. And then 3 straight home games to lead into the playoffs. And of course for Baylor, they expect to be a playoff team every single year.
Well, you know, when you look at that schedule, next week, for example, Raven Gap, that was a team that Baylor had to block a field goal to beat last year. In fact, Jamie and Theodore blocked that field goal. And so the schedule doesn't get any easier as time goes on. And what's Baylor looking to do tonight? Obviously win, but obviously set a standard in terms of execution and really finding out how the pieces of the puzzle fit together. Last year's over, a lot of a returning cast of characters, but there's some youth blended in, and they've got to start to find everybody's kind of comfort zone and how to execute on both sides of the football tonight.
Yeah, as I take a look at what happened from last year to this year, there are question marks, but there's question marks every year. The question is, can you replace those question marks with talent? I think Baylor's been able to do that, especially on the offensive side. We'll kind of take a look at a little bit. How did this game come about, and what do you know, if anything, about Santaluces? Here's what I know. Located in South Florida, Lantana, Florida, and I know that Google Maps told me it's 728 miles from where we are right now. They're a football program that has had success, then went through kind of a tough time, brought in a new coach, a coach that had won a couple of state championships at another school, and they are on the upswing a little bit, trying to get better and better, and they know they're in for a challenge here tonight.
Last year, they took a road trip even longer than this one. They went to Texas to play Midland Lee out in the Midland, Odessa part of Texas, and talking to their athletic director, they did that because they wanted to show the kids what they thought they could become as a program. And they certainly know what they're stepping into tonight, and they feel Baylor is that same type of program that they want to expose their kids to. And this is certainly ought to be an interesting battle for sure. Their running back has turned some heads. Kelsey Gerald, he is a junior, and he has got the full attention of the Baylor defense. So it really ought to be interesting to see just what they have on both sides of the football as well.
Yeah, they were telling me Florida's a different animal as far as high school athletics are concerned. Said, Coach Kimmery and I were talking earlier today, coach at Baylor, and was saying, you could transfer at the end of football season in Florida. It's basically open. You could play football for one school, basketball for another,
wow,
and baseball for another. You can do all those things. So when we talk about changes, and that happens quickly at a school in Florida, quicker than it does in the state of Tennessee. The other question I was asked a lot, you were too, how in the world did this game come about?
Yes.
And there are third parties. Here's how it works. Sometimes it's just a website. Sometimes, I don't know if I'd call them an agent or not, but some people will put in there, I'm looking for a game, here's what we're looking for. Or someone put, I'm willing to go on the road and do this. And they kind of put the people together and they say, you know what? You can do this and I'll pick up this and we'll play and we'll do that. or will return or won't return, whatever it is. So there's kind of a third party that gets involved in the triangular negotiations, and that's how a game like this comes about.
And Jim, as you told me, they've actually been here in the States since Wednesday. Am I correct on that?
I was told they flew into Nashville on Wednesday, practiced in Nashville on Thursday, and then bussed from Nashville to Chattanooga earlier today. So I think that's what the travel plans were.
And I think that's probably the smartest way to navigate that, because that's, as you said, over 700 miles. You break it up into kind of a 3-day deal, and that way your team's a little fresher when they can. And one thing we know about them being from Florida, they're used to this heat. This is no big deal, for the Chiefs, for sure.
Yeah, traveling over 700 miles. Now, you and I would just load up the family truckster, right?
Oh, sure. No,
Put the dog on the top and let's go.
That's right.
All right, some question marks for Baylor. Let's start on offense. I say this, and just writing down the heights and weights. If you can start with the offensive line that Baylor starts with, it's unbelievable. Charlie Edgeworth, 6'8", 324 and a senior, has already committed to Louisville. His bookend at right tackle, Gabriel Osenda, 6'8", 320 and a senior, has committed to Tennessee. Maddox McClure is the left guard. Cash Freeman is 6'3", 300 at center. The right guard, Xavier Wade, 6'5", 280 in the senior. If you can start with great line play, and since we're talking offense, if you can start with a massive offensive line, guess what? You give a quarterback time to throw, and you give a gap or two to a running back who's one of the best in the country. You're going full out on series number one.
Well, we talked about it towards the end of last season, the Red Wall. They were just executing very well. A couple of injuries maybe hampered them a little bit going into the postseason. But, man, when you look at Gabe Osenda, 6'8", 380, and he's got room to grow. Just a physical force. And on the other end, Charlie Edgeworth. So you got two guys, both 6'8", both well over 300 pounds and can move. That's your bookends. That's a heck of a start. And then you look at the skill players, and there's not a more dynamic player in Chattanooga than David Gabriel Georges. There's just not one. And he is – I was talking to one of their coaches a minute ago, and they said even in drills, when David hits you as a coach, it just feels different. He is spectacular. Briggs Cherry, solid. Louisville commit. Makes great decisions with the football.
Here's the numbers that jumped out on me from last year. 31 touchdown passes, 3 interceptions. 31-3. Every coach in the country is going to take that ratio every day.
And to your point, Jim, they threw the football a lot. It wasn't like, they were, it was 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but he makes great decisions. And the offense is the route tree gives him pretty options right in front of him, so his progressions are kind of, I don't want to say easy, but he's very comfortable in this offense, and they're comfortable with him. He's a big, strong kid. He can make any kind of throw. He can go, sideline to sideline. So he is certainly a weapon, and he pushes all the right buttons for this offense.
Yeah, 6'4", 210, and a senior and a commit to Louisville as well. The questions I would say on offense, and again, it's a throwing offense, you don't have established receivers. Caden Dewey, now he did catch his share of footballs last year, but obviously they had one of the best receiving corps in the country a year ago. They lost that talent, so now you have guys with talent. Are they ready to do it on game day?
That's what we start to find out tonight. But I think when you have a running game, you got to account for number 0 on every play defensively. You have got to know where he is, and I think it starts there. And that opens up opportunities at different. And one thing about Coach Kimry's play calling, man, he is really 3 or 4 plays ahead of most of the defenses that we have seen over the past 2 years we've been doing these broadcasts. So I don't think anything really surprises him. And I think this team offensively will grow.
Yes.
But they've got a fantastic foundation to start with.
Yeah, there's more questions on defense, starting with the coaching staff. Chris Brown was the defensive coordinator last year. He left and became the head football coach at Cleveland High School, 25 miles down the road. Enter Jonah Rodriguez, defensive coordinator at Ensworth last year. So someone that is very, very familiar with the competition in this area, in this district, if you will. But it's a different face and a different name and different plays.
I think what you have to realize with the Baylor offense, You don't necessarily need a defense to give you a shutout every week. What you need is a defense to
Testing, 1,
be
2, 3.
aggressive and
Testing.
maybe capitalize on some turnovers, because the pressure this offense, the Baylor offense, puts on the opposing team's offense.
Testing,
We
1,
saw
2,
it,
3.
Jim, last year.
Testing.
You had better match them quickly on the scoreboard, or you're going to be behind in a hurry.
Yeah, I was going to say. And then when you take a look at the defense, yeah, a little bit younger there. That defensive secondary is pretty darn good. Linebackers are good, but younger. I'm not sure they'll be able to get that pass rush they did a year ago, because they were pretty impressive in
Testing,
that department.
1, 2,
last year.
3.
They were,
Testing,
but you know,
1,
when you
2,
have this,
3.
like I would not be surprised, Jim, to have a certain amount of snaps where you have Gabe Osenda and Charlie Edgeworth also going on the defensive line. Now, look, you don't want to do that all year, but there's a lot of talent at their disposal, and they're creative enough to use it.
And people like Jamian Theodore, Colby Barrett, they are playmakers. Colby Barrett's also already committed to Mississippi State, and Theodore, I think, can go anywhere he wants to go. I could be wrong, but we'll see if they can get some pressure on the opposing quarterback, and we'll see how that goes tonight. So, the Red Raiders on the field right now. The Chiefs are on the field right now, as we are just now about 20 minutes away from kickoff in game number 1 of the season, Baylor football 2025.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Baylor School, Haywood Stadium, Red Eder Field, for tonight's opener between the Santaluces High School Chiefs from Lantana, Florida, and your Baylor Red Raiders. Tonight's officiating crew is Scott Dieter, Ken Maury, Mike Lingle, Ron Bailey, Tyler Love, Nick Sanders, Tyler Rapp, Chris Ford, and Jeff Smalley.
No, that started slow, but we got better. I'll get better. Man, Braxton Rain's a big old. God, where did they get these freaking tight ends? Where did they get them? I mean, they had LeBlanc and the guy Lapp. Damn. I think Theodore is a Tennessee commit. Isn't he?
No.
Look at your. It's in that.
Is he a Dynamite dozen?
Yeah. I was telling some friends of mine, I was just, man, that guy's not, he's.
Jamie and Theodore, I think you're right. Yes, you're correct.
Okay, so now we got, we're coming back though. Are we coming back? Hang on. 7:16, 2 minutes. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 7:19. I think it is 7:19 because it's this week's matchup. But then you got the starting lineup. No. I'm going to find out.
Jamie Theodore, defensive back, senior.
Jordan Davangila, cornerback, junior.
Kobe Barrett, safety, senior.
Corey Faulkner, linebacker, junior.
Cosmo Mario, linebacker, sophomore.
Keegan Whaley, outside linebacker, senior.
Maxim Subonyako, linebacker, sophomore.
Anthem Julien, linebacker, junior.
Jean-Pierre Eto, safety, junior.
Isaac Beeson, defensive line, junior.
Jacob Tate, defensive lineman, junior.
Jaden Arenas Michelle, defensive lineman, senior.
David Gabriel George, running back, junior.
Caden Dewey, wide receiver, senior.
Briggs Cherry, quarterback, senior.
Hank DeGennaro, receiver, sophomore.
Judah Smith, wide receiver, senior.
Braxton Rain, tight end, sophomore.
Cash Freeman, center, and junior.
Max McClure, left guard, junior.
Charlie Edgeworth, offensive line, senior.
Xavier Wade, right guard, senior. John King, offensive line, senior.
Gabriel Othenda, offensive line, senior.
Charlie Silverman, long snapper, senior.
Sam Shutters, kicker, punter, junior.
Standing for our national anthem to be performed by Baylor sophomore Nina Leo.
Good evening, and I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer. Almighty God, we are gathered here tonight for the first football game of the season, but we know it is so much more than that. While it is our football players who compete tonight, they represent what every Baylor student stands for: our honor, our traditions, our academics, our artistry, and of course, our athleticism. The families, faculty, and staff present tonight represent the wider community of support that surrounds each and every student on this campus. Tonight, we give you thanks for this exceptional school known as Baylor and the wonderful opportunities that lie ahead of us in the year to come. We pray your blessing on our students, teachers, and coaches, especially the players and staff of our football team. We also ask that you bless our guests this evening. Give both teams the strength to play their best. Ease any nerves at this first game. Watch over and protect them from injury, and help them to have fun. We humbly ask that you move this cloud a bit to the left and hold back any rains and storms until we are finished here this evening. And help us to embody the best of our motto: victory loves care, not only tonight, but in our every effort on and off the field. In your name we pray. Amen. And now, please remain quiet for the national anthem from Nina Leal.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
So we're going to start the year, Jim, and apparently the Chiefs didn't get the scouting report. They defer again.
I'm not sure that's a good decision. I'll just be honest with you.
I mean, it's about a 90% scoring rate on the first possession of the game for the Red Raiders. We'll see if that continues.
I'll just tell you, so far the thing that caught me, Charlie Edgeworth is a big man.
And so is Gabe.
Yeah. If you watch the coin toss,
I mean, that is
he won the coin toss.
That's some raw size coming right at you, folks.
So it'll be the Red Raiders and Santaluces from Lantana, Florida. That's very South Florida, like I said, about 730 miles from right here. I was just checking the weather. It's still 86 degrees. 86 degrees right now. And on that field, it is turf. It is artificial turf, and so
that's winter for South Florida.
You're right. You're right, but it does retain the heat a little bit more than a natural grass surface.
I think when the sun goes down in about 30, 40 minutes.
Oh, it won't. They get behind that mountain right there? No, that won't be 30, 40 minutes.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Well, when it does, that'll make something good. Hey, new uniforms for Baylor tonight. This is the Ember Gray. Saw a nice piece on that on social media this week.
But you're a uniform guy. We should point that out. All right, 2 or 3 things. I'm Jim Reynolds. That's Craig Cecil. Our talented crew, our colleagues, our friends. But remember, let me say this right here and now, and make no mistake about it. There's one voice of the Red Raiders, am I right?
Yes.
And Dan Kennedy is not here tonight, a little bit under the weather, and we're missing Dan. So, Dan, your presence, there's a vacuum here in the press box without Dan Kennedy here.
Absolutely.
So we wish Dan a speedy recovery, and there's no heir apparent, and he's the king on the throne. No question about that. And, Dan, we hope you feel better soon, and that you are very much missed because they say the rites of spring, one of the rites is fall. I've seen Dan Kennedy in the press box here at Baylor.
And listening to him over the PA, absolutely.
And sometimes, correcting us on occasion.
Really?
On occasion, yes. On occasion. And we listen on occasion.
Yes.
So Baylor will get the football first. And a warm night right on the banks of the Tennessee River. In a very promising, at least from this point of view, in game number 1. Very promising season forthcoming. A lot of talented guys. We'll have that script B on the side of their helmet tonight. They kick it short. And it will be fair caught right there around the 27-yard line. That's where Red Raiders begin. First down and 10 yards to go. So Santaluces won the toss, opted to defer. Baylor takes over first down and 10 yards to go. First and 10 for the Red Raiders, and we've been told that they want to score on what play?
The first play.
Play number 1.
If they see the coverage they expect.
And again, that's one of those situations. Yeah, I get it. Everyone wants to score on play number 1. I get it. But not everyone is aggressive as the head football coach of the Red Raiders, Eric Kimry. And not everyone has an arm like number 3 has right there, the Louisville commit Briggs Cherry. Let's see. Drops back, screen pass complete, 35, 40, open field, breaks a tackle and across the 47-yard line. So from the 27 to the 47 on play number 1, that's not a touchdown, but it is 20,
It's
right?
a heck of a gain by David Gabriel Georges, and maybe that wasn't the coverage they wanted, but boy, they popped 20 on the first play of the season.
Up to the 46-yard line. So a gain of about 19. I stand corrected. Strong side right. Cherry with time. Rolls out of the pocket. Tries to find a receiver. Up in the air and complete. Down to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10. All right, didn't quite work out. Second play of the game.
It worked out well for Caden Dewey. Second play of the game. They find the deuce. He gets loose, and it's a touchdown for the Red Raiders.
So that's a 54-yard touchdown strike. Mr. Cherry off to a pretty good start. He'll have a tough time trying to beat the 31 touchdowns passes he threw a year ago, but He's 1 for 1.
And what a nice throw, Jim, to lead Caden Dewey. He got single coverage. He got some separation. He threw it where his guy was going to catch it and nobody else. And the result, first touchdown of 2025.
At the 11-14 mark of the first quarter. Quarter number 1, play number 2. Sam Shutters the kicker. And he gives the Red Raiders a 7-0 lead. So that time they saw the coverage they wanted. I was going to say, people are going to have a hard time with Caden Dewey this year, I'll tell you that. He's going to win a lot of one-on-one coverages.
I think the great thing about that is they had single coverage and they had no help from the safety, so it was just one-on-one, and he got separation, and Briggs just kind of floated that football out to the right, bought some time from the pressure, and the result, an easy touchdown.
54 yards, so the total drive, 2 plays, 46 seconds, and 73 yards. 73 yards, 2 plays, 46 seconds. Briggs Cherry to Caden Dewey, 54 yards for the touchdown.
And Jim, this is kind of what we saw a lot last year, but when you have a team this powerful offensively, you have already put pressure on the offense of the Chiefs. They feel like they have to do something, at the minimum, a couple of first downs, because you know that offense is coming. It's just coming, and they're already functioning. And to keep your defense off the field and rested, the offense has got to churn up some yards on the ground.
Red Raiders to kick it off, and it will be returned from the 1-yard line. To the 15, to the 20, staggering there, breaking a tackle. Nice return up to about the 31-yard line. Yeah, and I don't want to be too cliche-ish on game number 1 because I want to spread them out throughout the season. But Eric Kimry's a guy that keeps it on the gas, right?
Absolutely.
They're going to continue. They're not going to just run someplace to run someplace. They're going to continue to be aggressive.
And there you see where Caden Dewey got loose. It was pretty good. It was actually better coverage on the replay than I thought initially. It was just a great effort. No safety help, and they took advantage.
That was the key. Not having help back there. And so they put it at the 29-yard line. Santaluces. That's going to be their number 1 play, number 1 player. We always say the most simple thing, to dumb this down, get the ball in the hands of playmakers, and Kelsey Gerald is a very good playmaker for the Chiefs.
They had him at running back on the roster, but they went Wildcat that time. They're just trying to establish something offensively right now to start the season.
And Joris Shepard, the quarterback, a junior. Gerald, the running back, and again, they just want to get the ball in his hands. Find a way, and then find someone else in this game that could complement him. I think the Chiefs taking a long time, and my guess is that's by design. I think if they could shorten the game, they would love to do that. Now you see Shepard at quarterback.
Delay a game on the offense.
Wow.
5-yard penalty. Second down.
Too much time. Okay.
Let me tell you what you don't want to do. Get behind the
Get
sticks
behind
against
the sticks.
against this group.
Yes.
Take a look at that defensive line when we get a camera shot on
and
them.
you've got Gabe Osenda at nose at 6'8", 380. You've got number 99, Jaden Arenas Michelle, the senior, on the left side.
Trying to throw. Down the near sideline, overthrown and incomplete.
Had a window to throw there, and boy, the quarterback, Joris Shepard, stood in there with some serious pressure bearing down on him.
When you have a 6'8" guy, rushing you in the middle, it's hard to find a passing lane sometimes. Yeah.
Tends to require your full attention.
So it's 3rd down and about 15 after the penalty. Although if you take a look at the offensive line for the Chiefs, those are not small humans either now. Pass complete far side, trying to get a little one-on-one, breaks a tackle, but doesn't even get to the back of the stick.
Keaton Whaley with a solid open field tackle from his linebacker spot, the senior with a nice play there to shut that down, and they will force a 3-and-out.
3 and out, aided by a penalty for too much time. That's your typical first game, isn't it?
Yes.
Too much time, delay of game type of situation.
Jamian Theodore back to receive this kick.
Boy, I think the upside of Jamian Theodore is incredible. I
do
think
too.
he's so athletic. University of Tennessee commit. There's the kick, got close. Didn't get much on that. Theodore will catch it at the 41. Using some speed. There's the afterburners. Near side, Theodore, one to beat, goes out of bounds.
Made a play, but there's a flag back at the 42-yard line. This may come back.
Yeah. Might have been that first block. Might have gotten too much of the back side of the uniform and not the front side. And a nice return by Jamian Theodore, but it looks like it's coming back. Red Raiders with a 7-0 lead here in the early going. Baylor's run 2 plays. First one, a 19-yard pickup on a screen pass.
During the return, we have illegal block in the back on Baylor. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Baylor is
First down.
penalized for a block in the back.
So that dramatically changes the field position. Doesn't put them behind the chains, but boy, it sure does change the location of where this drive will start.
Baylor with a 7-0 lead, scoring on their first possession, taking over 9:13 to play in quarter number 1. Red Raiders at the 33-yard line. 33-yard line is where Baylor begins this drive. First drive started at the 27. This one at the 33. Briggs Cherry, big number 3, the quarterback for the Red Raiders again this year.
It's the Caden Dewey show.
Briggs Cherry, just watching him, he almost threw that flat-footed. Look at that.
Wow.
I mean, he just let things happen in front of him, had some time. That offensive line is great. Picked out a receiver and moved it from his own 33 all the way down to inside the 10-yard line.
Jim, when you see a quarterback so comfortable,
Yes.
especially early in the game, it means what they studied on tape this week, they are seeing on the field.
So put it down at the 7-yard line. Comfortable is the word, I think. And he just, took over last year at the starting quarterback spot. And yeah, there's some questions. Anytime you have a new guy at quarterback, there's questions. I believe he answered about every single one. Sidesteps 1, sidesteps 2, angles his way and gets it down to inside the 5. They'll spot it around the 3-yard line for a 4-yard gain.
That'll go as a 4-yard gain, but that was a heck of a run. It got them out of negative territory and heading towards the goal line.
Boy, what's his ceiling like, too? David Gabriel George.
Well, we just expect so much out of him after what we've seen.
Everyone does. Including his dad, right?
Yes.
His dad posted on social media. You can expound on that in a moment. When he walks into the end zone. There it is.
Bingo.
Little spin. Well, there's 2 guys that you expect an awful lot of this year. They've been in the end zone. Caden Dewey for touchdown number 1. David Gabriel George's. He had 14 last year, 1 so far this year.
His dad posted on social media today, "You don't have to worry about making me proud. I already am. I just want to be entertained tonight." And Jim, that sun's going down.
Extra point is good once again. An early 14-0 lead for the Red Raiders. Sun's going down, temperature's going down sooner or later. As they celebrate a second straight touchdown, 2 possessions, 2 scores for the Red Raiders. First touchdown drive, 2 plays. That one was 3 plays.
This is the big completion to Caden Dewey. And then you'll see this is the 4-yard run by David Gabriel Georges, and they just demolished the defensive line of the Chiefs that time.
I think we're going to be using that phrase a lot this year. I just think that Baylor offensive line, as good as they were last year, preface this, I think they might be even better this year.
Wow. That's a high bar. Look at this kick.
Wow.
That is JP at 2 with the kickoff, where Sam Shutters usually does.
Yeah, you call him JP. I call him Jean-Pierre.
So you got Maddox, McClure, Gabe Osenda, and Edgeworth on the defensive line here. 3 big guys playing both ways. Sorry, that's also Jaden Arenas Michelle.
What a great break on the football.
Jamie and Theodore, solid open field tackle.
He saw what was going to happen. He
Boom.
anticipated what was going to happen, played off his block, and went straight for the receiver and dropped him right at the line of scrimmage. That's a lot of talent. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of instinct in there as well.
And obviously some film study, because he got off his man and went right to at the point of attack.
That was really well played. Little plays like that. Santaluces High School from Florida. Lantana, Florida. Going long. Up in the air. And caught. He whiffed on trying to block that pass and bat it away. Caught. Nice play. Simple fly pattern down the near sideline.
Patrick Rice had his hand on that football. I think he tipped it, but great concentration that time by Jarmel Sign of the Chiefs. Just a sophomore to reel that in, and a huge gain for the Chiefs.
That was nice. Timing
An
was
eligible
good.
receiver downfield on the offense.
Oof.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains second down.
I mean, Jim, you're on the road, 700 miles from home, out, a little bit outgunned talent-wise, to say the least.
728 miles from home.
And you pop a big one, your biggest play of the game, and you make a mistake and you're going backwards.
That's unbelievable. And again,
I mean,
this would be an upset
hard on a football team.
Yeah, this would be an upset. And to upset someone like Baylor, you've got to make those plays. You can't have those things happen. Whether it's game 1 or game 15, if you're going to upset someone and have to play nearly a perfect game, those are plays you have to make. And some offensive linemen drifted a little bit too far downfield and negated a big, big play. And again, what do the Chiefs need right now? Probably a little momentum more than anything else, right?
Yes.
Just something to go right, something to extend the drive, and not just have another 3 and out. Ineligible. Oof. Look on the near side.
Look at this.
Boy,
Busted coverage.
Wide open. Wide open. Far side down to the 30, inside the 30, down to about the 25-yard line. Yeah, you're right. Someone zigged when they should have zagged, I believe.
That is a young man, the senior Carl Montellis, from his running back spot on the roster. He got absolutely wide open. He got past Jamie and Theodore, and he was off to the races. And that is the biggest play so far for the Chiefs.
Again, you get behind the chains, and again, what we were just talking about. A situation where you need a big play to post an upset win, and they got that big play, and you're right, a busted coverage because there was no one close. It just speed closed the gap, or that could have been 6.
Chiefs are huddling a long way away from the football. I don't know if they expect. No, the chain gang is late.
We have sideline interference. St. Lucas coach, 15 yards.
Wow.
So, Jim, are they saying he interfered with the actual play?
I think it may be more of the officials. Because a lot of time what happens is, especially on a play like that,
okay,
that official, I'm guessing, and I am guessing, That official might have run into Hector Clavillo on that far sideline.
Wow. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
I've seen warnings a whole lot of times.
That's a lot of warnings. I've never seen a penalty called.
Especially early. You know, usually you get a couple of warnings, right? Nice. Through the line, inside the 35, down to about the 33-yard line.
That was Kelsey Gerald in a well-blocked play by the Chiefs offensive line, and they're going no huddle.
That's wise. I don't think that's a bad idea. Baylor's making a change on the defensive line. Now they're going to rotate, especially on a warm, humid night like tonight. Handoff, first man through, spins, doesn't get much.
Tell you what, Gerald got the feed. He spun for the first down. Yeah. Jim, on that earlier pass play, they ran 4 wides, but they had the splits. They covered the entire field, much like Tennessee likes to do, and that put the Baylor defense in a little bit of a compromising position. They had to commit to people all the way across the field, and they took advantage on that big play.
Well, the whole philosophy is spreading the field right. Spread the field, find a one-on-one coverage you like,
and that literally
where someone doesn't get help.
That was literally the entire field.
Yeah, exactly. When they talk about a spread offense, that's kind of what they're talking about. Spread the field, find a one-on-one matchup. That's why they sometimes call it basketball on turf, right? I'm playing one-on-one. Where's the mismatch? But don't look now, but the Chiefs are down to the 29-yard line.
Game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And this is another thing, Jim. If you're going to win a game on the road, it's the first game of the season, but you got to get the play in. I mean, that's a delay of game there. That costs you 5 yards.
Second pre-snap penalty of the night.
Those pre-snap penalties just deflate an offensive football team.
Here you see Baylor scoring on their first 2 possessions, lead at 14-0. Ooh, don't throw it high. And down to about the 30-yard line. So they basically made the penalty back and got the 5 yards back on that play. So it'll be second down and 10 from right around the 30, 31, let's say.
And that was Carl Montellis again, who made that big play to get this drive established.
Second down. Shepard, the quarterback, big number 11. They like him, by the way. Quick throw, using the sideline and getting the receiver out.
Again, that's as good as a handoff.
There's Leonard Antoine.
Theoretically.
Yes.
That brings up a third now and 9. So you got 3 on that.
3rd and 9 from the 33-yard line. I'd say that the Chiefs have done some things. They've flipped the field position, right?
Absolutely.
They've held onto the football, gotten a couple of first downs. It's progress.
Yeah, they're going to call Jamie and Theodore for pass interference there.
Yeah, he gave a little bit of a chuck too far downfield, I think.
He would not let that receiver get past him and the ball was in the air. And that was a heady throw because I think Joris Shepard noticed that and got the ball in the air as quickly as he could to make it an easy call.
Pass interference on the defense, half the distance. First down.
Thought he was on the 33. I'd say Jamie and Theodore felt that the receiver was getting by him. What do they say?
Right.
You know what? It's better to give up 15 than 7. Give up 15 yards on the penalty.
7 points, yeah.
And bring it down to the 15-yard line where it's first down and 10. So nice drive by the Chiefs. Haven't had a lot of success running the football as of yet. Haven't tried a whole lot, but they do like to throw. That is their MO. But don't look now. This will be the 10th play of this drive coming up.
And they've overcome their own mistakes, which is
a couple of them.
Really what you want to see.
Gain of a yard on first down, second down 9. At around the 24-yard line. Sorry, at the 14-yard line.
And Jim, clock continues to run, and that defense is not on the field.
Yeah, think about this. They took over this drive at the 8:27 mark. So They've essentially
It's
had
almost 4 full minutes.
they've had time of possession 4 minutes right now after a 1-2-3 and out in their first possession, falling behind 14-0. So really an extended drive, short passing game, probably just what the doctor ordered.
And Jim, you got to wonder if their kicking game, if they're not confident in it, they may just go for it on 4th down if they don't pick it up here.
They might try to get half of it right now. Throwing on the run and incomplete.
He was looking for Phoenix Taylor, but obviously, realistically, he was just trying to get rid of that football and not lose yardage. So they are going to bring on a kicker. That looks like it's Christian Clavijo,
I would
the
say
junior.
I'd say we're in the coach's son's situation right
Yes.
now. He's going to try from right.
Jackson
About 30.
Mariconi is the backup quarterback and the holder on this. Excuse me.
29, let's call from the 19, 29-yard field goal. Missed it.
No good.
And again, what do we say? Trying to pull off the upset.
You have to cash in.
Yeah, and I mean, really more of a momentum thing than the points, I would say. 3 points are down 14. It's still 14-0 instead of 14-3. But that was a decent drive. You got to come out with, you got to come up with something, I think.
I agree. And on that play, Jamie and Theodore nearly got to that football as quickly as the holder.
What do you say? He's
I
got
was
a knack for the
surprised.
ball? Yes.
I was surprised that wasn't blocked. Just always around the football.
How?
But they've gone after him on that possession a little bit. That was interesting.
Yeah. So Baylor takes over with exactly 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Low snap, handoff, running room. By one,
Wow.
by two, close to midfield.
That was just right up the gut. Acceleration, separation, physicality.
Yeah, when you see David Gabriel Georges in the open field, oh, that's one of those ankle breakers sometimes.
Yes. And this is what Baylor likes to do here. They go no huddle after a big play like that. They control the personnel that they want to see on the field. You don't allow substitutions. One safety back for the Chiefs.
Single setback. Cherry, time. Is that inbounds?
I don't know if he got it. I know we got.
Yes.
He got 1 foot in. That was a great throw.
That was literally
and an outstanding catch.
Only his guy could catch that one.
I thought the defensive back was gonna undercut that, but it was so well thrown he could not get to the football. Again,
First and 10, 35.
Briggs Cherry, Jim. That's a big, because he took something. He had to take a little off, but then place it in just the right place.
That's a D1 throw right there. Underneath to a D1 player.
Yeah, if you're a Louisville fan, you got to love the possibility of number 3 heading to your school.
And
Goodness.
71. So Briggs Cherry, he
yes.
ain't dumb now. He said, I'll commit to Louisville if my left tackle.
I'm going to bring my big friend with me. What do you think?
6'8", 224.
Yeah. And the Cardinals said, absolutely.
Yes.
We got room.
I don't know. Are you sure? Second down. And a flag.
False start. Number 77, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So I'm just glad that wasn't Charlie that jumped on that play because we were just bragging about it. That's
true.
what usually happens. Kind of a quick moving first quarter. 2:48 to play in quarter number 1. Baylor 2 for 2, 2 possessions and 2 touchdowns so far tonight and lead it 14-0. Santaluces from South Florida. Right around Lake Worth, Florida, if you're familiar with that. School that opened in 1982. Briggs Cherry. Looking in the end zone. How about that?
That is Judah Smith. And he got in position and just waited for that one to fall right into his arms, and it did. Briggs Cherry. He has put on a show so far.
It's only the first quarter.
Judah Smith, the senior.
Yeah, I think we're going to be calling that name a lot this year as well. We're going to see Caden Dewey's had a great start. Judah Smith, number 14, with his first touchdown reception of the season, 35 yards. Cherry to Smith for 35 and the touchdown to make it 21-0.
So, Jim, in the big picture, the Chiefs come away without anything on their best drive of the game so far, and Baylor makes them pay. Zips it right down the field, and it's now 21-0. Let's check this out. First of all, the run by David Gabriel Georges. Well blocked. Fantastic execution. Now we watch this. Briggs knows right where he's going. He's got two receivers. He puts it in the perfect position. Judah Smith reels it in for the touchdown.
But he threw that one almost flat-footed. He was
did.
almost still moving backwards. He didn't step into the throw and enough arm strength to find his receiver.
He throws a very catchable
I agree.
football. But he can crank up the RPMs if he needs to.
So that's 86 yards on the drive after the missed field goal. 4 plays in a minute 42. Cherry to Judah Smith, 35 yards for the touchdown. 3 possessions, 3 scores for the Red Raiders thus far. The ball will go to the end zone and shan't be returned. All right, Santaluces, if you've never heard of them in football, the NFL has. Carlos Jenkins played for the Vikings, a graduate there. C.J. Jones played with Denver. Vince Wilfork played for the Patriots.
Big Vince.
But their most famous graduate might be Oscar Isaac, who played in the Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens. He's one of the
You just went next level on that.
You know,
you must have called the Alumni Association.
I come into every game saying, what can I do to impress you? What can I do?
And you do it every game.
Scary.
George Shepard bought some time there, and I thought he was.
I like him. I mean,
he seems to have a good feel for what they want him to do offensively.
He's found some guys.
Yeah, if you give him time to throw, he will hurt you.
A tip and a pick.
And a touchdown. First of the year.
Now, there was a flag that flew.
Well, that's J.P. Etu in the end zone.
Jean-Pierre Etu with the pick on the deflection. Let's see if it holds up.
They ran a stack formation, 3 receivers that time, and they had a receiver open. But when you miss high
over in the middle of the field,
somebody cries.
Yeah.
Let's see what the call is.
During the return, we have illegal block in the back on Baylor. 1st and 10 from the spot of the foul.
So after the change of possession, meaning it will be Baylor's football, but it will not be a touchdown.
That will take that. Jean-Pierre will not get to celebrate.
Jean-Pierre J.P. Etu. Yeah, if you cover Baylor, you better polish up on your en français. I'll just say that. In my 2 years of French at Elmwood Park High School, I forgot.
It's kicking in right now.
Well, I don't know.
Jack Ferguson in at running back, and at quarterback, Ben Halevi.
Rolls out, looks in the end zone.
Got a man.
That's 1 for 1.
They said he's out. They called him out of bounds. They're
Well,
going to call that
was
incomplete.
I thought that was closer than the one earlier that they called in.
I'm with
that's
you.
That's just me. Levy's saying that if that was Briggs Cherry, you'd give it to him.
Boy,
right?
Ben, the sophomore comes in slinging.
On the run.
Comes off the bench.
Rolls it out.
There you go. Spins it.
That just ain't right. That's one of those we should say, come on. You got to give me that one. Caden Dewey had the hands up in the air. Where am I supposed to go?
The size difference between Ben
yes.
and
yes.
David Gabriel Georges.
How about that? I'm calling that shifty. Right up the middle.
And spectacular.
So this is where it falls apart for many teams. All of a sudden a pick, a short field. Hand the ball to number 0, right? And that's an easy 23 yards for the touchdown. Still in the first quarter. Now 27-0 in favor of the Red Raiders.
So Jim, what that does to your offensive team, if you're Santaluces, is you're down 4 scores now.
And 7 years ago.
Let's just say 6 possessions a half, you are already behind the 8 ball.
Oof.
And we're not even through the first quarter.
The most lengthy drive for the Red Raiders so far tonight, 1:42. Touchdown number 1, 46 seconds. Touchdown 2, 46 seconds. Touchdown 3, 1:42. And this drive, 59 seconds. 23 yards. David Gabriel Georges, his second visit to the end zone tonight.
Just a basic draw look, and number 0 gets it done. Well blocked. You give number 0 5 yards of steam, and he's going to be awfully tough to bring down.
But at that time, he gave the hip and took it away, and by that time, he was feeling the end zone. 4 straight scores for the Red Raiders. And we have not played a quarter as of yet. End over end, and in the end zone. But I'm like you, just a little thing like missing that field goal in the last possession. I thought that was huge because I thought it was a chance.
And they overcame so much just to get in position for that field goal. A penalty on the coach that wiped out a huge gain. An eligible man downfield wiped out a huge gain.
Yeah, you do a lot of things right, overcome a lot, and still end up with nothing. Then you throw a pick. Up the middle. Trying to establish something in the running game, which hasn't really occurred as of yet. Their best plays have all been in the air. And again, that one-on-one coverage, I'm not sure if you're just going to try and play smash mouth. I think if you're Santaluces, you win that or you lose that battle a lot.
That was Kelsey Gerald, and again, like a lot of running plays up the middle tonight, it looked open early and it closed quickly.
He's got talent, though. You can tell. Second down 8. Yeah, a little option right there. Baylor almost blew that up. You really didn't have time, the Chiefs didn't, to really get that separation between quarterback and running back. That pitch relationship wasn't good. That's because Baylor forced the issue earlier.
Penetration.
Yeah. So it's third down at the 34-yard line. 2 running plays, 2 yards each. Third down about 6. And a good crowd here tonight, we should add. Nice atmosphere.
Absolutely. Happy. I mean, there's such a, everybody's ready for football season.
And I mentioned it was hot early, but it just didn't feel crazy hot like some other days in the summer.
I agree.
Running for his life,
Ball's
lost the ball.
loose.
Baylor gets it back. You talk about a friendly hop right there. I think the Red Raiders are on the bottom of that pile. That's a bounce pass. Yes, it is.
Bingo.
Remember Julian. See, en français, you got to roll the tongue. Roll the tongue.
You are light years ahead of me on that. There is no doubt. You have that certain je ne sais quoi, Jim Reynolds.
I'd argue if I could, you know. Still in the first quarter. A chance to score a 5th touchdown in quarter number 1. That's a second turnover for Santaluces. Pass that was picked off after deflected, right up the middle. Can they get that 5th touchdown in the first quarter? No, they cannot. Stop there, but that'll mark the end of quarter number 1. Whoa, a little chippy now, and there's a flag. Blessed be the peacemaker.
Well, it's a no-doubter because there's 3 flags on the field. So
yeah, that's a quorum.
After the play is over, number 6 on the defense is ejected. Personal foul.
Wow.
Throwing a fist.
That's Jeremiah Sanchez, the junior
Halftime.
linebacker.
No, it's not.
Actually, it's not halftime. It's the first quarter.
It's the end of the first quarter.
It's
Not halftime.
It's
My
week
mistake.
It's week 1
In the
for
first
everybody.
I agree with that. Week 1, game 1 for everybody.
Wow, Jim. You had 3 flags down there, and that must have been a no-doubter because
I guess everyone saw the same thing.
Yeah.
You lose
So
a linebacker.
So you've had a coach, a 15-yarder on your head coach for interference, and now you've had a linebacker, just straight up gone, ejected, boom.
Well, a really good first quarter for the Red Raiders, no doubt about that. Leading 28-0. 28-0. The schedule for Santaluces. Now, this sounds more like a Florida travel log, be honest with you. Boynton Beach next week. Palm Beach Central the week after that. Then Seminole Ridge, a district game at Leonard, bye week, and then district games at Park Vista, district game at home against Forest Hill, and a district game against Lake Worth to end the season. And their playoffs begin the week after that. We're all the way at the other end of Haywood Stadium. Pulls it back, spin move, doesn't quite get there. Took a pretty good pop and lost the helmet.
Ben Halevi's going to have to check out after losing his helmet. Tell you what, the sophomore's in there to make things happen. He will give up his body for the team. He can sling it.
Bridge Cherry doesn't mind going back in with the ball on the 1.5 yard line, though, does he?
I wouldn't think so.
They call guys like that the vulture, right? Should I hand it off or?
We got Jack Ferguson in the backfield to his left.
Flag on the play, obviously.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, number 6. Half the distance. Second down.
So it was 1.5 yards out. Should be inside the 1. Yep, by the length of the football, inside the 1 yard line. Bridge Cherry stays in the game. And Ferguson to his left. Ground ball, scoops it up, hands it off. Ferguson in the touchdown, in the end zone. Touchdown number 5 of this early season. It occurs early in the second quarter at the 11:17 mark.
And Jim, the question is, does that trigger the mercy rule?
I think in the first half, you have to get a coach's consent.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike on the defense. Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Chiefs letting out a little frustration, losing control perhaps.
So Baylor's taking advantage of the 2 Chiefs turnovers. Took over on this drive on the 19 yard line after the fumble. Now 34-0. Extra point forthcoming, a little high snap. Kick again is good. 35-0. So 2 plays, 19 yards. Took over with 2 seconds in the first quarter, and that's a 15-second drive.
Here's a look again at the touchdown. Well blocked. Jack Ferguson just follows the big trucks into the end zone. 35-0. Red Raiders.
You can see part of the nice crowd here. Baylor has not done a lot wrong so far tonight. Again, you start up 5 for 5 in the possession department. No turnovers. You're +2 already in the turnover department. Baylor again with Rabun Gap next week. They've proven to be a pretty good rival for the Red Raiders.
Absolutely.
Beating them a couple of years ago, remember, on that Sunday afternoon game on ESPN. Into the second quarter. I think Eric Kimmery will be fortunate tonight to be able to play a lot of people in game number one. Kind of a humid game number one, I get it. We're going to quarterback number 2, aren't we?
Well, you know, Jim, I remember when they had Whit Muschamp as quarterback, they put in Briggs in situations just like this.
Sure did.
And, you know, that kind of experience may be limited, but it's very valuable.
Arenas Michelle making the tackle. And this is Jackson Maricuni at the quarterback spot. So number 17. I was going to say, I thought George Shepard did a nice job. I really do.
I thought so too.
So enter the junior.
Gosh.
Oops.
Boy, that didn't fool anybody.
That was going backwards.
Especially Emery Julian. Number 2-4, all over that one.
Yeah, he was not fooled, put it that way. Got great leverage, drove him backwards.
Beat his man and was waiting at the junction for the running back.
You know, look at that. They just don't make body paint like they used to, I don't think.
Quality's going by the wayside, Jim. I've been upset about the body paint quality for quite some time.
You and I haven't really talked about it, but I think we've
if you're going to wear body paint, it needs to stay.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That is a quick drive by the Chiefs. That's a quick 1, 2, 3 and out. So you start on the 20. You have a negative play. All of a sudden you're punting from the 15.
We have not, I don't know if we've seen the Chiefs execute a punt tonight.
4th and 15.
Christian Clavijo with the kick.
Not much.
Man, Jamie and Theodore fielded that at the 38.
So that's a net of, 18, 19 yards? Yep. That's a less than a 20-yard punt. .9:25 left to play in quarter number 2. As you can see, that scoreboard is correct. All Red Raiders so far pitching a 35-0 shutout right now. Football on the 38-yard line.
Brick Cherry and David Gabriel George is in the backfield. Back to the first team setup.
Look how easy that is. I mean, he just lofted that out there, didn't put a lot of pop on it, just said, oh, I got a guy open.
Waited for number 13, Hank DiGennario, to get open, and he did. Hank DiGennaro, excuse me.
And had room.
Sophomore out of Brentwood, Tennessee.
Brings it up to the 26-yard line, 12-yard gain. You see that 4-man front. Cherry again. End zone. Might have been out of bounds. Yeah. That's one of those, when you're a receiver, you're looking back. You can't look down and see that stripe sometimes. Made the catch, but out of bounds. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
And that was a one-read throw by Briggs Cherry. Knew just where he wanted to go with that football.
He just looks like he's throwing it so easy, though. I mean, when you see guys with arm strength, and he's got it.
This is a different kind of strength.
Yeah.
spectacular in his own way.
And again, he did a lot of that on his own. There wasn't a lot of, you didn't see a lot of jerseys leading the charge that time.
He outran the defense really with that burst, got to the edge.
Turned the corner, brought it down, picked up 13 yards to the 13-yard line, and a Baylor first down. I couldn't do that on my best day, spanning 112 years. Well, there's some dog years in there, you understand.
Sure.
Cherry from the gun once again. Look at that. That's look, just standing back there. Okay. On an 86-degree night, everyone's sweating except number 3, right?
Yes. Boy, didn't force it. You're up 35-0. It would be easy to force a throw in there, look for another TD, but he just took. Well, defense had great coverage, and he just said, let's live to fight another day on 2nd and 6.
That's exactly right. Why would I force something right now? That would make a bad film room day for me. That's a good option. Cuts it back. His cuts tonight have been
just razor sharp.
Shake and bake.
One more. Woof. For DGG.
So 28 points in the first quarter for Baylor. 13 as we speak in quarter number 2.
Nice block on the edge that time to spring David Gabriel George's.
Third touchdown of the game for the talented running back. That one a 10-yard TD. Extra point good, obviously, to make it 42-0. Baylor with a short field on a punt that only went about 18 yards. So Baylor takes over on the 38-yard line. They go 38 yards in 5 plays, scoring at the 8:46 mark.
Let's watch the block here on the outside. Yeah, boy, that is an outstanding block by Caden Dewey. I don't think anybody was going to deny David Gabriel George's on that play, but that sure made it a lot easier. 42 house for the Red Raiders.
Caden Dewey, everyone loves wide receivers that can block, right?
And block well. That was a square up, take your man out of the play.
What's the old saying in football? No block, no rock.
There you go.
You block, we'll find you. We'll find you on the next play. No block, no rock. Red Raiders going to kick off for the 6th time tonight.
Yeah, the kicking team's going to get a work. They're going to be in midseason form by the time this one's over.
Santaluces from South Florida. Kick will be fielded in play and returned to the 10, 15, up to the 20, 21-yard line. Kind of went down awkwardly out there. So with 8:40 left to play in the first half, and Baylor obviously in control of this game, the Chiefs, they made progress over the last couple of years. I think they lost in the first round of the playoffs a year ago. And we'll begin this drive about the 21-yard line.
Boy, that was a dangerous pass. Look, I don't know if it was tipped or it slipped out of his hands. He got just enough on it for that completion to Leonard Antoine.
Yeah, I thought Theodore was just going to keep on sprinting, pick that off in stride, and keep on going there for a second. About a 5-yard gain. Hit. That's one area that they just have not established anything on the running game so far tonight.
And Jim, like a lot of running plays we've seen tonight, it starts open. You thought maybe that had a chance,
yeah.
but they closed the door quickly.
So it'll be 3rd down and a good 6+ yards from the 25-yard line. Throwing it high.
That's a pass George Shepard probably wanted back. I think he was probably pretty well. It looked like he was well covered as well.
Yeah, that
might have just been let's.
That was not one of his best throws of the night. And he's thrown it well on occasion.
He has.
That wasn't one of them.
This is 4th down and 6, and the Chiefs say we're going to go.
Well,
with the way their kicking game looks, you can see the logic here, and they've got to find some stuff out too, Jim.
Timeout. Baylor. That's their first timeout of the half.
Huh.
Timeout called by Baylor.
The Baylor just want to make sure that they have their return team there or whatever. Eric Kimry, I was looking at his numbers. His record at Baylor is 33-6. Now in his 4th season. His overall record, 227 wins against 26 losses. So you're 201 wins over the 500
mark.
That's not too crazy. Runner-up last year, champions the year before, runner-up the year before that. And like I said, I've talked to him for sure every Friday. We have great conversations. I mean, he is so open in what he wants to do. Some coaches will give you that coach speak and hide stuff, and he has been nothing but open and a man of deep faith, and he's fun to talk to. I have a lot of respect for him. And I know some folks at Carolina that knew him well, and oof.
Oh,
what do you want to do on 4th down? Anything but that.
Boy.
Oh, wow. That's when it rains and pours right there.
Man, I'm telling you.
So they've had 2 turnovers already tonight. That's not technically a turnover,
but it's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing as a turnover.
Wow.
See, that's when the coach said, you know what? In retrospect, maybe we should have gone for it.
But Jim, if you can't get the football to your quarterback, it's a longer distance to get the center to hike it to your kicker, your punter. So I mean,
we going in? My question is, are we going in mercy rule land? That means that coaches agree. Because the clock never stopped on that change of possession. The mercy rule is automatic in the second half when it's 35 points or more. In the first half, coaches have to agree. Briggs Cherry.
Wow. Caden Dewey got to his spot and waited.
We have holding on the offense, number 55. 10 yards. First down.
Look at Caden. He's upset. He said, hey, he's already counting that touchdown pass. Caden Dewey had the first score of the season, so you got that going for you. That was on Baylor's first series. He caught a 54-yard touchdown pass from Briggs Cherry. And he had already marked down touchdown pass number 2 right there.
Yes. And I think you're right, Joe. I mean, the clock hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
So they obviously. But that's funny. It didn't run earlier when they were up by 30.
Well, but I mean, again, in the first half, the opposing coach, the guy that's
So
down.
you think they had the conversation?
Yes.
Like when that happened.
Yes.
When they got 42 up.
Yes.
I got you. Well, the folks in red aren't complaining.
Especially right now.
Yes.
.445 mark, second quarter.
Colby Barrett with the touchdown catch.
The touchdown is good. After the play, personal foul, targeting on the defense. The penalty be assessed on the kickoff.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
That sky's looking a little different now, isn't it?
It is.
Been a few times tonight that the Chiefs, let's say, ignored the whistle. Is that fair?
They went right through the whistle. It's kind of like that. I thought the light was yellow. No, it was red.
$49-0 for the extra point. Take another look.
Boy, just waits and finds his guy. And man, Colby took a couple of shots there.
He did.
Just found his way into the end zone. He was well covered on that play.
I just think Briggs Cherries look just so confident tonight. You talk about being in charge. Like I said,
that's the right word.
You'd be confident too if you had 2 6'8" offensive linemen standing in front of you and your center is 6'3", 300 pounds. There ain't a lot of offensive lines in high school that can put that bulk right there. You give someone like Briggs Cherry time to throw, time to just stand there and pick out a receiver. Also knowing this, David Gabriel Georges standing by him if he needs that. There's a lot of weapons there.
And by the way, David Gabriel Georges looks bigger than last year. Looks like he's added, at least 10 pounds of muscle and explosiveness.
Yeah, see, clock already running, so yes, we're in mercy rule land. Sometimes, I can say this, officials will say,
yes,
hey, do you want me to ask them?
Yeah.
Because you don't want, if you're Eric Kimmer, you don't want to force that issue. Or you may say to the official, you may say that, or the officials may take that gauntlet themselves and say, do you want me to ask them, or should I ask them? Or you ask them, you ask the opposing coach and say,
what do you think?
Hey, he's agreed to do it if you want, if it's cool with you. And most of the time, 42, 49-0, most of them are going to say, yeah. Let us get back to South Florida.
I think the outcome's been decided. You really don't, you just.
And again, humid night, hot night, long trip ahead of you still.
First game for everybody.
Cramps, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So the Chiefs start on the 20.
And knock on wood, Jim, we haven't seen one cramp from either one of these teams.
Crazy, isn't it?
Which means they have been hydrated throughout the week.
Yes, I have had athletic trainers tell me you cannot do it on the day of the competition. You got to do it days before. So a running clock for the entire second half. Nice completion there. forcing him out of bounds.
That is Cordell Phils Amy, sophomore tight end. He's got some size.
He does. You can see it. A guy like that can grow into that frame and really be a factor.
My timeout for an injury.
See,
I
you
did
jinxed
it. I'm
it.
sorry.
That's your
it's
fault.
my fault. It is my fault. Who's got the cramp? I'll apologize.
That's the classic look of a cramp
That's
right
Jean Pierre.
there. Yeah. At two.
My mistake, JP. I need to tell his mom at halftime. It's my fault.
I guarantee it's hotter on the banks of the Tennessee than it is in Canada right now, right?
Yeah.
I will guarantee
You're going to go out on that limb?
Well, just about a perfect first half for the Red Raiders. 7 possessions, 7 scores. They're +2 in the turnover department. Have made every play.
Plus 49 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, plus 49 on the scoreboard. That's right. Oof. Quarterback takes a pop after he lets it throw.
Boy, that was.
I'll give him credit because George
didn't
Shepard.
flinch.
No, he did not. He knew he was going to take a pop too, and extended himself, let it fly, incomplete pass.
I think that was Jaden Arenas Michelle that brought some wood at the end of that play.
6'3", 280 senior.
6'3", 280.
Yeah.
Timeout, Santaluces. Their first time out of the half.
Timeout, Baylor.
Santaluces. So they want one more play because, like we said, running clock. So they want one more shot before the end of the first half, at least one. And again, that's how you stop the clock now. If you have a running clock, you have to use a timeout. And again, normally the mercy rule is 35-point deficit, automatic in the second half.
Is it 35? I thought, or 30.
35.
Okay.
It's automatic in the second half. In the first half, if the coaches agree, you can inject the mercy rule. And both coaches have agreed, obviously. Pressure.
Was that a pick? What a catch.
That's Mr. DiMatteo.
Cosmo DiMatteo moves from quarterback to linebacker, comes up with the interception.
I covered his dad, of course, when he played for the Mocs. And Kaz on the coaching staff now, no question. That'll be a proud papa right there.
Absolutely. Why not?
As the first half comes to an end on a DiMatteo pick. Just the sophomore linebacker making the play. And those clouds are looking a little more threatening, I would say that. So you want to go through all the scoring. Here's the final. Here we go early on.
That's the big pass to Caden Dewey. First touchdown of the season. Hits it around the right sideline.
54 yards.
Off and running were the Red Raiders. Then they go ground game. Gabriel Georges, DGG, TD. Then we have Briggs again. He goes up top. Another nice touchdown catch. Judah Smith to make it 21-0. Then they go back to the ground. I mean, look at the speed here and the power. Goes in for an easy touchdown. That's after they recovered a fumble. 23 yards there. This is after the fumble. This is Jack Ferguson to make it 35-0. And then David Gabriel Georges will cap off a 38-yard drive here for another touchdown. Briggs Cherry will find Colby Barrett on this play, and this makes it 49-0. Colby pops a few tackles, and that's where we are, 49-0 at the half.
At halftime, all Red Raiders in half number 1 and game number 1 of 2025.
Welcome to the Baylor Banter with Mary Holmes.
So I'm your host, Mary Holmes Phillips, and today I'm here with
Curtis Blair.
Hey, girls soccer coach. So I have some questions prepared. What made last year's state championship team special?
I think expectations. I think our expectations were going into the season is we really didn't know what we had, and then when we started playing games, every game we kept getting better and better, and then we realized when we started getting our region matches that we were just as good or better than most of the teams we played, and then it just continued to build from there.
What do you look for most in a player?
I think the first thing is just the work rate. The work rate and just being coachable. Those are two things. If you show up every day and you work hard and you're coachable, then we feel like that you have a spot where you can be very successful.
If this year's team was an ice cream flavor, which flavor do you think they would be?
Probably like a rainbow, because I feel like you get a little bit of everything. We have lots of diversity.
Like a sherbet?
Yeah, probably a sherbet a little bit. Different players from different places, and I feel like that you have a mix of good day and boarding, so you got to have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's a great answer. So I'm here with the 2026 captains of the soccer team.
Emily Betterton.
Zoe.
Hadley. Lily.
How would you describe the bond between teammates?
We have a really good, close family with our team. That's really important for our state title runs in the past, and this year we're going to look to continue and build further on.
Actually, on that note, can we get a flash of the rings?
The bond comes a lot from just holding each other accountable. We're just happy to continue that, be positive with each other.
What role do younger players play on this team?
Pushing us to be better in practice and cheering us on really helps a lot, especially to people on the field and who are starting in those spots. Just like having someone that has your back and is willing to push you and make you work harder and cheer you on just really helps.
Kind of going off of what Zoe said, they bring this hunger to want to prove themselves, so it just pushes us to be better and to not get comfortable.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Shout out Curtis, thanks for your time. Hey. Thanks for tuning in to Baylor Banter. I'm Mary Holmes Phillips. See you next week.
We get ready for the second half here at Haywood Stadium. Like I said, there are some big people.
Number 79, Big Gabo Senda, turning up the height meter to start the second half.
He was also moving to, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Scary thought. 49-0. That score is correct. I don't believe last year Baylor had a perfect game, meaning so far 7 possessions, 7 touchdowns. I think there was always, they ran into a half, the halftime came or whatever it was, and they had a possession, that they just took a knee or whatever. But so far 7 for 7. That's the first thing you do is count. Do I have 11? Yeah, okay, we got 11.
And believe it or not, this is opportunity time for some of the younger players.
Oh, don't think they don't realize that
to get live action.
Yeah.
And
I've said this before, and it's interesting. So many different philosophies out there among coaches, football coaches on every level. And Eric Kimry, the head coach at Baylor's one, he goes, we don't go live in practice very often. We don't do a lot of contact. He goes, these guys know how to tackle. They get it. And I've heard some coaches say just the exact opposite.
Me too.
That you got to hit, you got to tackle, you got to get used to the contact.
I mean, you don't see rustiness on. You haven't seen bad tackling tonight.
No,
at all.
No. And Eric Kimry is one of those, why would I get my guys banged up in practice? If they get hurt, they're going to get hurt in the game. You know what? I get it. Chiefs will get the football first to start the second half and field it on about the 7 or 8. Change of speed right there. Some running room and a nice return.
Kelsey Gerald, nice balance there.
Sure.
And I think that was Sam Shutters, the kicker, that brought him down.
He took it on the 7 or 8 yard line, brought it to midfield. So obviously the best starting point, nose of the football right at the 50, best starting point of the game for Santaluces. And again, you see that clock running. We are in the mercy rule, 35 points or more automatic in the second half. Looking
Boy,
for one-on-one.
that's a strike.
That's right in the breadbasket, isn't it?
And that was well covered. That was Leonard Antoine. He's made a couple of big catches
I was going to
tonight.
say he had a real nice catch earlier in the game. And
I'm going to tell you what, Jackson Maricone threw that ball perfectly. That was tight single coverage.
that's one thing that's one area they have not gotten yards tonight. Losing the helmet.
Jackson Gulyam, they have him down as a wide receiver. He's a junior. He carried the football that time.
Jacob Tate lost the helmet, so they have to make a replacement. From the 10-yard line. Bouncing off the pile.
Chiefs knocking on the door, and let's credit Jason Gulyam. He has run hard on this drive. Nice burst, nice balance, runs through contact on this drive. And
third down and a couple.
As we have seen so often tonight.
False start. Number 52 on the offense.
Dead ball penalties.
Replay third down.
That's Castellan, the left guard, I think, that jumped.
And you got to figure they're going to go, this is 4-down territory anyway.
Gotta be.
I mean, yeah, that's.
But again, an area where the Chiefs have done some good things
And then
tonight.
they
And
make
I know you see the score 49-0. I get it. But they've done some things, and then right when they'll put 2 or 3 nice plays together, they'll get something like that. From the 10. I think offense was playing defense and defense playing offense.
I think you're right.
Broken up right there at the end. But broken up by the wide receiver more than anyone else.
Patrick Rice, the sophomore, was in line for a pick there. But Jarmel Sign, yeah, he played a little defensive back on that one.
So here you go. You got 4th down. You can see Chiefs can get a first down at the 3. They're going to go. They're going to try to get some points on the board here.
And you can understand either way. They need something, Jim. They need to cash in on something tonight.
I think they want to give the kicker some confidence. He's ready. And there it is.
Bangs it through.
First points of the game for Santaluces. They score in their opening possession, second half. Get on the board at the 8:03 mark of the third quarter. Now 49-3. And the opening drive of the second half. Yeah, clock not running. Little Pink Panther going on, boys and girls.
That comes with the price of admission. No extra charge.
So Santaluces scores their first points of the season on a field goal at the 8:03 mark of the third quarter. Now, some of the clouds we've seen are a little ominous. I wouldn't argue. And you said not far from here, they are getting some rain,
They
right?
got some rain, heavy rain up on Signal Mountain. Don't say anything else, Jim.
Yeah.
I've already caused a cramp, and we don't need to do anything else. No forecasting.
There you go. First time tonight that the Baylor team will get the football after a Santaluces score. Not a bad kickoff. Fielded on the 5 and return. And good coverage.
Timmy and Williams with a nice effort there. The freshman.
Oh, the freshmen love getting in the game, don't
And
they?
the Chiefs have a little swagger
Yeah,
here.
yeah, they do. They do.
They
And
came out of the locker room juiced.
Like we said, they missed a field goal earlier, and it kind of took the wind out of their sails. Just the opposite occurring right here, right?
Yes.
Just, it's 3 points. I get it, but it just kind of changes your attitude when you come out, start the second half. You don't think that Coach said at halftime, let's just play the game like it's 0-0. You don't think that was said at halftime? Maybe both coaches said that.
Break the game down to 5-minute increments.
Yeah.
Boy, Ben Halevi threw that in traffic, and been waiting for this guy. Braxton Ryan, the sophomore.
He looks like he's going to be a player,
good-looking
right?
tight
Yeah.
end. Braxton Rain, excuse me. You get the feeling 18's gonna get a lot of opportunities to catch the football this season.
Well, we said this last year with the Baylor receivers. You can't double team everyone,
Especially
right?
the tight end. They have done a great job at developing players at that spot to go on to play major college football. Whoa. That was almost a headlock.
Ferguson getting some
Jack Ferguson
some
has,
PT.
Yeah. He's been up to the test so far. 3rd and short here.
All right. Baylor has scored every possession so far tonight, so got to pick up 2 yards right here on a third down. Clock running in a mercy rule window, which we are in right now.
Oh, great decision. Ben Halevi. Boy.
And a good slide at the end.
Yes. They had to commit. They had, once again, the safety was on the other side of the field, and once Ben saw that defensive lineman blocked down, he took a hard left turn and took it upfield. Great decision.
I love asking players all the time, what do you read? And it is so technical. You know, if I see this guy going in this direction and shading this way, then I'm going to do this. It is a great chess match.
Really
Anyone
is.
that thinks football is just smash mouth is wrong. It is so technical on every level, on this level. Rarely is it just line up and try to nail the guy in front of you. You shade him one
Kids
way,
are
shade
just
him
so big these days.
Play a game.
That's true too.
On the offense. 5 yards. First down.
That's not going to make anybody on that Baylor sideline happy.
You know, actually it will, though. Here's my philosophy. You don't want to have too good a game. You want
That's-
coaches want to have
true.
a reason to get
That's
on
true.
their players,
Yeah.
right?
Everybody, yeah, that's true. Developmental opportunities, as we say in the biz.
Yeah, as they say, mistakes are opportunities to learn. If that were the case, though, I'd be a genius by now. I'm just telling you. Back to about the 32-yard line after the delay of game penalty. Nice running room. Look at that. On the near sideline. Great speed. On a little bump at the end, but no flag. Jack Ferguson, he's the one. Every time you say who's going to take advantage of their playing time,
28 is.
That opportunity is knocking right now, isn't it?
And Ben Halevi also.
Yes. He's made a couple very, very good decisions.
Nice block that time. I think it was Judah Smith on the edge there that really sprung Jack Ferguson.
And he showed me some acceleration there. First down and 10 for the Red Raiders, who have scored, as I mentioned earlier, every possession so far tonight.
Whoa.
Looking for the opening that never
Just wasn't
came.
there.
Never came that time for Ferguson.
That
Kind of
was-
went laterally to the line of scrimmage.
That was Elijah Vilna, the junior defensive back for the Chiefs, that made that stop.
Yeah, Craig's going to be following the Chiefs' Boynton Beach game next week. And then, of course, Palm Beach Central the week after that in a good old-fashioned South Florida rivalry. Lost the yard, so 2nd and 11. Roll in the pocket a little bit.
Hey, in all seriousness, here's the key to that play. Jack Ferguson. He got enough of a chip on that defensive lineman to buy Ben enough time, and Ben threw an absolute strike on the run.
It's funny the difference between Briggs Cherry, who just looks so calm, so confident. Levy makes things, you know, he plays with his hair on fire a little bit more, I think.
And they move him a little more.
Yes, yes. First down to the 27-yard line. Obviously, with a running clock, a quick moving third quarter.
Look at Jack Ferguson.
He bounced
weave
off
his
2 or 3,
way
absolutely.
among the Redwoods, and he's going to move the chains. Looks like, nope, 2nd and short. No, yes,
No, you're
that
right.
is a first down.
First down. By maybe half a yard. Line of scrimmage was the 27. He got just inside the 17 for another first down. Still a lot of those guys, number ones on the offensive line in there. And I always say it's tough to judge a quarterback when you don't have the number one offensive line. Quarterback draw.
Oh, what a
Gets by
stutter.
1. Down to the 5-yard line. That should be, I think, another first down.
Number 6, Ben Halevi breaking ankles in the secondary.
I like it. Did they get him the first down? That's actually probably to his benefit that he did not get the first down. So it'll be 2nd down and 1 at the 7-yard line. You never know when you're going to need that backup, though. So getting snaps with live grenades going on. High snap. Wow. You know what?
All right. Heady.
I was going to say.
Did he lose yardage? I thought he had the first down at one point.
Yeah,
Yes.
he gave some ground. I mean, high snap, all of a sudden, you're in a scramble situation. That marks the end of the 3rd quarter, by the way.
Showed some poise there.
Yeah, a lot of times quarterbacks will do something stupid in that situation. He did not.
Illegal block in the back. 19, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. That's the end of the quarter.
That'll make the folks from Florida feel at home, right?
Yeah.
Tom Petty, this is what the Florida Gators play at the end of the 3rd quarter. And they did it as a tribute, so I'm going to press you again, as a tribute to Tom Petty, who was from Gainesville. And they played this song at the end of the 3rd quarter for the Florida Gators, and everyone responded to it, and now they play it every game.
You just took it next level again, Jim.
In a
49-3 blowout, you're looking for ways to grow.
Is this August or is this October? Let me just ask you.
Locked in and loaded, week 1.
Plus, I'm a Tom Petty fan. What can I say?
How can you not be a Tom Petty fan?
It's actually, like I said, at game time it was 86 degrees. It just didn't feel like that.
It didn't. It was
actually a pretty nice night.
Fun way to start the season for the Baylor Red Raiders. That game next week ought to be interesting. Rabun Gap.
Yeah, we've seen them. Like I said, we've seen them beat the Red Raiders on this field right here. If you think that's going to be a gimme, which I did the first time they played, one of the rare times, I was sadly mistaken. That'll be a good game next week. So again, clock stopped right now. The mercy rule is 35 points, and I mentioned this 2 or 3 times, just if you tune in late. They started the mercy rule. If both coaches agree, you can start the mercy rule earlier, and they did in the 2nd quarter. And then it's automatic in the second half if there's a 35-point deficit. Dumps it short.
Good decision to just get the ball to Patrick Rain with his size. That was well defended by the Chiefs.
All right, 3rd and 8. And again, you see the running clock, so if Baylor wins and we beat the Rain, hey, winner, winner. Dropping back with time, looking in the corner, and there it is,
Wow.
right? Yes, hangs on for the score.
Absolutely. That's Hank De Gennaro. And we've got the speed limit up there.
I can't drive. 55. First minute of play, fourth quarter. With the extra point forthcoming, I should add. Hank De Gennaro, extra point on the way. And that is good.
So Halevi just throws that ball in the corner of the end zone. And Mr. De Gennaro just runs under it. He threw to a spot. Hank got there. Touchdown. 56 points now for the Red Raiders.
But again, what it all starts with that offensive line. Not many quarterbacks have that much time to throw.
True.
Wait for their receiver to make that break and lay it up there and say, I'm throwing it to that corner, that sideline.
Go get it.
Yeah. De Gennaro did. De Gennaro did with the score. His first touchdown of the season. Red Raiders continue to pour it on. Like I said, they have scored every single possession so far tonight. 8 possessions, 8 scores, and a 56-3 advantage. One takes a bounce.
Whoa, dangerous kick.
Yeah.
Excellent kick, dangerously fielded by the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's a free ball.
Yes.
You know, once it travels 10 yards, however it travels 10 yards, that's a free ball. You don't let them bounce very often, I'll just say that, in the old coach's playbook. Those are the first points for the Red Raiders in the second half, right? Starting on the 26-yard line.
Chiefs having trouble getting the play in from the sideline. They looked a little confused. Boy, that's great defense, and oh my goodness. That's great defense by Isaac McCarty, sophomore out of Signal Mountain. Hope he didn't pull a muscle there.
He adjusted well with that ball in flight.
Got his hand on it.
That was the most impressive, yeah.
Because that receiver was open. Close that gap quickly.
That's the thing. Some receivers get open. If you got some closing speed and able to adjust the way he did, that makes it an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. A little low snap that time. Gets past one, steps up, throws.
Man, wide open. Absolutely. That was a busted coverage. Goodness gracious.
And that's one of those things that Baylor defensively will have to work on this week. Say, hey, we got burned a couple of times. A couple of times, had he put a little bit more air underneath and let him run underneath, that could have been a big play.
Boy, Jelani Beasley, though, man, the senior had a chance there, and maybe he missed it in the lights.
In trouble.
Boy, he is. He gets loose.
And completes a pass on the sideline.
Wow.
And out of bounds. We haven't talked. Has there been any sacks tonight that you can think of?
Well, they had a chance that time.
Yeah,
Jackson
sure did.
Maricone they had him dead to rights, but he got loose. And I'm going to tell you something. Chedlin Victor, number 64 on the offensive line, the left tackle, did a nice job that time fending off two Baylor. He got in 2 pops on 2 Baylor defenders before things broke down.
Throwing long again. They like something on that one-on-one matchup, and that one works. Wow. That's just run as fast as you can. I'll throw it as hard as I can.
Jarmel Sign to the corner.
Is he still down? A little slow to get up.
He is a little slow to get up.
On that fly pattern, they've had some success.
They have. Well, it looks like Jarmel's right arm is hurting. They got him at the back. They've got him on the bench.
Scoring opportunity for the Chiefs right now.
Touchdown.
That was nice.
Leonard Antoine, we have called his name a couple of times tonight. He just out-jumped the defender. But that takes concentration and strong hands. He reeled that in.
I agree. He just won that one-on-one battle.
He did. High-pointed that ball.
Yes, exactly.
$56-10.
So if you're Santaluces, you know what you say? We're winning the second half, right?
We are, absolutely. 10-7.
10-7's the score in the second half. Each team with a touchdown in the fourth quarter. Santaluces finally broke the ice, trailing 49-0 at halftime. Field goal in the third quarter, touchdown in the fourth quarter. Baylor blanked in quarter 3, touchdown in the fourth quarter so far. It's 56-10. But like I said, I thought their passing game so far tonight's been good, including, they've
worked
got some
the edge.
speed.
They've had people open deep tonight.
I don't know.
That's something the Baylor coaching staff is going to look at.
Oh, no question. I just don't think there was much ground game to complement that at all for the Chiefs tonight. But again, here we are in the fourth quarter, late, when you have a running clock for sure, and they're still firing. They're still making plays.
I mean, they've come out with some swagger here in the second half. They've cut down on the mistakes. Still made some, but they've cut down on those, and they've moved the football.
Chiefs have turned it over twice tonight, both in the first half. One pick, one fumble. That pick was a deflected ball or bounced off the receiver. So clock stopped after the score, and then
why did it stop, Jim?
I think it does stop after a score.
Okay.
In that situation, and then once Baylor gets it back, it'll start once again, and they're doing it onside.
Yes, I had a feeling.
I did too
I had a feeling when
he was going to throw the changeup.
He
right?
was looking at the sideline a lot, and they saw what they liked, but Baylor was able to answer and shut the door. Good alertness on their part. Isaac McCarty with his second big play of the second half.
I'm going to say the start time is 6:37 on this drive. Taking over at the 46-yard line. And again, just be alert in that situation. Onside kick. Again, once it travels 10 yards, it's a free football. See what the Red Raiders are going to do here. Normally in a game you go, I'm just going to run and eat up the clock, but no matter what you do, that clock's running. We're going in the back pages now, aren't we?
Well, this is definitely a roster game. Carter Hoyle out of Cleveland, Tennessee gets the carry.
Picks up 4 to the 50. Second down, 6. Right at midfield. Wow, good defense.
Wow, they were sitting on that one.
Yeah, meet me at the running back.
Yeah.
2 guys combined, and hey, Carter Hoyle. Good to meet you. So this is the 9th possession of the night for the Red Raiders.
We get a new quarterback. Kaz DiMatteo at quarterback.
There you go. Now, he had a pick right at the end of the first half at linebacker, right? So
yes.
that would have been 3 turnovers. So 3 turnovers for the Chiefs in the first half, not 2. I stand corrected. We're back
you
to
corrected
August.
yourself.
We're back to August.
So that doesn't matter. That's it.
And I think we are going to see a Baylor punt for the first time this season.
In 2025. Leonard Antoine back to receive, and 81 has done some damage here in the second half.
He's got some talent.
Timeout. Baylor.
Timeout called by Baylor.
Just to be sure. Eric Kimmery in his 4th season as the head coach of the Red Raiders. Looking for Baylor win. I like the side of it. Looking for his 34th win as the head coach at Baylor and 228 overall. He's at the Hammond School for 16 years. Went back to his alma mater, South Carolina, as an assistant coach. Chris Angel came here and they were reunited. Both were at Hammond. Both are at Baylor once again. Come on, go for it. Takes a little Baylor roll, and we'll roll dead.
Where the Chiefs change their returner. Phoenix Taylor thought about grabbing that football.
Yeah, discretion's the better part of valor sometimes, right?
I think so.
First time I write punt down for the Red Raiders this evening. A 56-10 lead. And the clock running. From the gun on 1st and 10. There's your man. Look at that.
He has got
He's good.
Some wheels.
Leonard Antoine, once again, nice catch. And again, put the football in the hands of the playmakers,
And
right?
that was that whole, they went to him right, they knew, that quarterback knew right where he was going.
He's money.
Jackson Maricone goes, I'm going to find 81, and he'll do the rest.
Look at that.
Touchdown.
You talk about blowing by a man.
Carl Montellis. He's been open tonight, unable to reel it in. That time he blew past the Baylor defense.
Yeah, that was.
And Jim, there wasn't an ounce of hesitation in Jackson Maricone. That ball was snapped, locked and loaded. He was going right there.
So a nice score, and again, showing some speed. I would say this, the Chiefs don't have the bulk that Baylor does, the physicality.
Right.
But they do got some wheels.
They do.
In that trenches time where Briggs Chariots all night to throw, was able to pick out a receiver. That one's good. So long touchdown pass and showing off the speed
And
right there.
if you could just see the difference in body language
Yeah.
on the Chiefs sideline. It looks like a different football team than in the first half.
You know, you're down 49-0 at halftime, and then you come out and play a pretty darn competitive second half now.
You're up 17-7 in the second
Yeah,
half.
yeah. We pointed out earlier. I just said that's when players buy in. If coach say, hey, you and I have both seen situations like that, pretty easy to quit.
Yep.
Pretty easy to give that half
Well,
effort.
especially
But
you're
they
on the
didn't.
road.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not in front of your classmates and not in front of many of your parents or whatever it is. But a pretty nice second half for Santaluces. Carl Montellis with a nice touchdown pass and caught it right in stride.
I want to thank the Santaluces athletic director, Garrett Mantle. Had a nice conversation with him earlier this week. He helped us out with the roster and the starters, and it is greatly appreciated.
And who had to help us out translating Google and all that kind of stuff? What family member helped us out?
That was Mrs. Cecil mostly. It wasn't me, that's for sure.
Craig and I are a little technically challenged. Let's just put it that way.
We needed all hands on deck last night.
Let me just ask you, was there an eye roll involved?
There was a lot of frustration. And I'm sure Mrs. Cecil was the most frustrated.
No, she was just,
I, of course,
she was just laughing.
I had no password. It's always about a password.
Yep. In this day and age, it sure is. So we got 90 seconds.
We were going to go to the bench and recruit Lily Cecil to help to bail us out. It was touch and go there.
We were eventually able to open up the roster.
We were able to open up the document. Success.
Everyone else is high speed. Greg and I still got the abacus out,
We're
right?
still working on. Yeah, we're the Flint. I'm Fred Flintstone. I admit it.
Red Raiders just taking a knee and.
Now at quarterback. Nope. Cos is coming back.
I was going to say.
Cosmo DiMattio will come back for quarterback.
How many times in his life you think he's been called a little Cos?
Every
day?
Many.
Every day somewhere? Cos on the coaching staff, of course.
And one of the great guys to talk to
absolutely.
in Chattanooga,
Absolutely.
period.
Great player for the Mocs, and that's how I got to know Cos. fact, his family lived in my subdivision for a while when I first met him.
Ball start on the offense.
That's okay.
Yep.
Let's go home.
They're going to burn the clock and get a W. Mercy rule. You beat the rain.
Yeah.
Solid start to 2025.
Yeah, Red Raiders in action next week at home as well. Of course, our crew will be back in action next week. Remember, they always say the biggest improvement comes from game 1 to game 2.
Yes.
I'm hoping that's the case. And again, the real voice of the Red Raiders, Dan Kennedy. Hope he's feeling well. We'll see him back in the press box soon. I don't know when that will be. Hopefully next week. But Dan, you are missed. There's no question. You talk about an icon, not only in this press box, but on this campus.
Just the voice.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
At a football game is just fantastic.
Think of all the kids on this campus that he has taught. And he was one of those teachers that everyone talked about, everyone liked. He did some different things, thought out of the box sometimes when thinking out of the box wasn't cool. But Dan, we'll see you next week or whenever. But hope you're feeling better, and we miss you. There's no question.
Get up to full speed soon.
Absolutely. So for Eric Kimry, win number 228 all time. He's now 34-6 as the head coach of the Red Raiders. Alma mater for the Red Raiders. We'll be back next week. If you want to tell people how to get these games, you can go to the Baylor School website and just put watch live, and then you can get there. Let's take a look at some highlights, and there are many of them tonight.
First touchdown of the year. Briggs Cherry, 2 plays, 46 yards, 46 seconds. Caden Dewey, the deuce is loose on the right side. That caps off a 73-yard drive. And here they go back to the ground. David Gabriel Georges. Get used to this, folks. We've seen this for 2 years, and you're going to see it for a lot this year. 4-yard touchdown to make it 14-0. Then Briggs Cherry to Judah Smith, the senior, in the left corner of the end zone. 86 yards, 4 plays. Back to the ground. DGG touchdown. Look at that acceleration. That makes it 28-0. Then after a fumble recovery, Jack Ferguson off the bench to find the end zone. Before you know it, it's 35-0. David Gabriel Georges again. This covers 38 yards, 5 plays, 42-0. Briggs Cherry, Colby Barrett takes a licking and keeps on ticking into the end zone. That makes it 49-0. And then Ben Halevi finds the corner of the end zone. Hank DeGennaro, DG with the TD. And they'll put a knee, and that shuts it down. Big win, week 1 for the Red Raiders.
Taking a knee, every coach's favorite play, right? So a great win for the Red Raiders. They come out firing. They score on the first, 8 possessions of the night. There's our talented crew, and we'll be back right here next week to see if the Red Raiders can make it 2-0 for the year. A successful win here tonight knocking off Santaluces from South Florida 56-17. See you next week right here.